Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is Hold On Loosely by 38 Special. I have never heard of this band before, so this is obviously a first time to hear them here on the channel, and that's okay. That's one of the reasons why we're here. This was also a direct request, but also they sent me the t-shirt, so this is Hold On Loosely by 38 Special t-shirt. Of course I had to wear it for this reaction, so thank you, Celeste, for doing that. Always appreciated. But I have no idea what this band is about and what their style is. I do know that they started in 1974, and I believe they're from Florida, and this song was released in 1981, but that's about it. However, we're here to learn things, aren't we? So what else can we learn? I am a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we talk about all the different aspects of this music, how it was composed, all the different instruments that were used, a little bit of theory, music history, some instrument demos, and also, why do we like this music? Or maybe why do we not like it? So, enough delay. Let's listen. Okay, let's go. Okay, well, this is a lot of fun. This is really interesting for me anyway, because right now on the channel, we're really heavy into prog. And prog can kind of go across a decade or two, but it's really prominent in the 70s. And so what I'm hearing here is a little touch of the 80s. But it's a transitional phase. It has to be, because I'm hearing both. And also with the video here, they look more like 70s than 80s. So I'm an 80s kid and early 90s also. And it was like really late 80s, early 90s. That was the window that I got into some popular music back in the day, but then stopped abruptly after that, like around 93, 94, when I started all my classical training. I just sort of fell in love with classical music and never really looked back. Just a couple of artists here and there that I got to know and really loved, like Radiohead, some bands like that. But I have missed so much. But I think what I do know of is just the overall look of these decades. And I remember what the 80s looked like. And it didn't look like this. This looks like 70s. So I know it's just 81. So it's really interesting to see, it's not like the decades just change right at the top. It's interesting to see how it transitions. But the music, there's something about this song that doesn't sound as 70s. And I know it's not necessarily prog. I'm just saying that that's what I've been diving deeply into here on the channel. And so my ear is really catching a different style here. Is it a little catchier, some of the tunes? It's definitely more straightforward. We don't have all of the different time signatures and key signatures of prog rock, but there is still definitely a unique sound here with this band, and I can't wait to hear more. All right, let's back it up and hear them get into this next verse.
And my mind goes back to a girl I met long years
we're going to back it up there and get into the guitar solo. Okay. Why, for some reason, am I not able to grasp exactly what point of view they're talking about, they're coming from in the lyrics? Okay. A lot of you already know, you've heard me say this before, that my mind, my brain, my ear goes to the music first and then usually the lyrics. And so I know I'm seeing the lyrics right there, but I'm still taking in everything so much here. So it's interesting. So I said previously that it was catchy. It really is. It's a catchy tune. It's a catchy beat. And I love the guitar riffs. Da-da-da-dum. It's like this, it seems so light. And then we have this boost of the bass underneath. It's pretty awesome. There's something about it that really still calls to me from the 80s. There's a rock sound from the 80s, but then there's also almost a bluesy sound to this. Maybe even a southern rock sound. It's kind of reminding me of maybe like Lynyrd Skynyrd, but not quite. It's a little more sort of 80s rock and roll, but it's just a cool vibe. And what's interesting is that sometimes when I catch on to the catchiness of a song, I can sort of sit back with it and then pay more attention to the lyrics. But there was something happening that was still interesting in the music part of it that still kept my attention mostly there, at least enough there that I still wasn't catching on to, like, who's hanging on tight? Is he hanging on tight in the relationship, or is she? Like, who's losing control and why? Is this like... basically don't get too attached because it can sort of ruin a relationship, or don't get too serious? Or does someone want to be serious and not the other? And, I don't know. Okay, we'll get there. It's all right. It's one of those songs where you almost don't mind if you don't know what the message is from the lyrics right away, because it's so catchy. It's just fun to listen to. It immediately brings a smile to my face. Okay. So, like I said, let's back it up a little bit and get into a guitar solo. Again, the music part of this was still holding on to my attention enough, even though it's like verse, chorus, because the musicianship is quite precise and accurate, as in they really sound like they know what they're doing. And many bands do, but this one is like extra tight. All right, so here we go. Back it up a little bit and let's hear the chops for this guitar. Surely that's what's coming up, right? Yeah. All right. Okay. These guys rock. Once again, another band I never even heard of. That's okay. That's why we're here, is to learn. Yeah, I definitely it just feels a little bit more 80s some of the sounds, like the guitar sound that happened at the very end, just to me sounds more 80s than 70s. Okay, the guitarist, not bad. And it kind of fooled us because I was ready. All right, let's do this cadenza, this solo moment for the guitar. But then the vocals came back in. I was like, oh, okay, so was it a super short guitar solo or are they going to keep going? And so that's what happened, is that there were a few more vocals from the chorus that came on, and then the guitarist actually took over and took us out to the end of the song. I like that form. It mixes it up a little bit. Keeps you on the edge of your seat just a little bit. Excellent guitar solo though, like really, very, very bluesy. And there was one spot in there that I was like, that sounded like Freebird. And then there are two guys with the long hair and the sort of the southern hats, I don't know, with the brim, they kind of do look like Lynyrd Skynyrd. And that's okay. Hey, influence, right? That's totally fine. The sound overall is not identical. It's not the same, but there's just some influence there and it's good. And that's fine. Fine with me. The song itself is pretty simple and straightforward, but because it's so catchy, you just want to hear it again and again. It's the kind of song that sounds good up close, and it's the kind of song that sounds good when it's in the background. Has this song been used in movies and TV? Surely it has. It sounded loosely familiar to me, just a tiny bit. But again, it could have just been the vibe, like the sound of it. Because again, I do know some later 80s rock and roll sounds. And it just, like I said, a really good blend of 70s sound and some later 80s rock sounds there. But overall, what a fun song. I do like the lead vocalist as well. I liked how he's not necessarily like a super precise singer with this amazing vibrato. It's more the inflection. And what I appreciated the most is that he was mostly singing in his chest voice, but then he would bend up into some of his head voice a little bit. And he was able to sort of pass through that pretty easily. Like there was one moment where I saw him singing like a background vocal moment, and he kind of shifted up into his upper register for that. But a good bluesy sound in there, good rock and then bluesy sound. Is it Southern? There's a little bit about it that's Southern. It's not quite, I don't know. It's more straightforward, like 80s guitar rock. Okay. Let's go back to a couple of fun moments. So I believe this is a moment here with the vocalist in what I was saying and how he uses his range. This is the more straightforward singing. There, so that was the head voice, that upper range. Yeah, he's got a great voice. He just belts it right on out. And again, there's no extra bells and whistles to it. It is just like there's not a huge vibrato. And he does hit all the notes, but it's not about hitting the notes. It's about belting out the words and having it just jive in with all the rest of the instruments, and that's what makes it cool. He does kind of slip and slide around to some of the notes, and he does a lot of the loosely, has his mouth open for a lot of those, the ends of the words, and there's just something cool about it. So, and also, did you see, speaking of cool, you saw the guys like with the hats and the long hair. Like, it's not my imagination. That is reminiscent of Lynyrd Skynyrd, right? Okay, just had to say that again because can't help but notice. It's super cool. I want to go to one of the catches because it's so catchy. It's just cool. All right. In fact, it's going to be at the beginning. Let's just go back to the beginning. just that right there with the muted. And then that kind of thing. Okay. The lower guitar. Is it just the bass? Boom. Bah. Like that. That guy, he has those little interjections and it's super like that is cool already. But then you hear that boom and you hear the entrance of the drums and then boom like that. It's just cool. Okay, I want to hear it again. Drum. That. And it kind of boom. It kind of, yeah, it's so cool. I don't know which, like, it just sounds like ba, and it kind of slides bum ba. I don't know. It's like an engine revving up or something. So cool. So yeah, this chorus and verse, it comes back again and again, and that's what you love about it because it's so good. You want to hear it again and again. And then 2/3 the way. So normally, as with stories or movies or, it's the same for music where you have the arc here for the storyline and you don't want it to have the climax, in the middle. That would be weird. You want it to be about here, 2/3, 3/4 of the way. And they start to do that with the entrance of the solo guitar. But then when the vocals come back in, you're kind of confused. It's like, you're just kind of pushing it a little bit. And that's what kind of mixes it up and keeps us on the edge of our seat here. So let's see where we get to that point. I mean, we're just ready for the solo, but then it's like, nope, we're going to sing some more. So here it's like, all right, guitar, 2/3 the way through. All right, bring us on up. But then vocals, what? But he's still kind of going. Okay. And there's that moment again with the upper range. Great variation there of the chorus. Okay. All right, now we're ready. Play it on out. See the cool dudes with their hats? Yeah. And I like how he's kind of bump on it because he's like with the drum beat there. They're all working together. Yeah, the bending of the pitches, love it. And look, the two guys are playing together. It's great stage presence. Some good ad-libbing. Okay. Is this where it starts to sound like Freebird? Yeah, that sounds like Freebird. But hey, we don't mind. That's fine. Okay, and we hear the lower sound. Yeah, that. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Let's hear that again, that low sound. Yeah. Woo. Yes, excellent ending of the beat there. So yeah, that low sound. They didn't have to do that. Well, I guess they did because it was really cool. And this is a cool song. And it's a cool band. And so they had to be cool all the way to the end. Okay. Well, yeah. It was a lot of fun. Okay. That was Hold On Loosely by 38 Special. And it was great. What a catchy tune. And I loved this little glance. So as a classical musician, I love learning about music history. And I mean like hundreds of years back. But now this is going on like 40 or 50 years back. That's historical enough. It's cool to see how things evolve, how we're going from the 70s into the 80s, how different forms of rock, like basement rock, Boston, right? And then Southern rock, like Lynyrd Skynyrd, how all of these influences can come together. It's awesome. And that is one reason why I'm here on this channel, is to learn more of modern music history, not necessarily in the classical style, but in the popular music style. And it is fascinating to see how things transform and how everything is influenced by one another. So this band, now I know, 38 Special exists. And they're a cool band with cool songs. And I'm wearing the shirt, so now the coolness has hopefully transferred to me. And so now I feel extra cool. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. Can't wait to hear more from this group. If you know any info about this band or this song, go ahead and put it in the comments. I want to learn more, hear more. Maybe we'll have to have a poll for this band. When I put polls out, it's usually on Patreon or for channel members, and I take suggestions first, and then we narrow things down through the polls, and then they are turned into reactions here on the channel, so it's a lot of fun. Otherwise, just be sure to like and subscribe. Join in all the rest of the fun here too. We're having a great time. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay and keep listening.